Had a libertarian show me this. What's a good response? Capitalism versus corporatism. An individual has an idea. An individual has an idea. That individual forms a company and makes product from that idea. Okay. Corporatism is just capitalism, okay? People that fucking make the distinction between good capitalism versus bad capitalism are being silly bitches. Capitalism is corporatism. You're just recognizing all of the inherent flaws within the capitalist organization of the economy. And basically what you're stating is, oh, all those flaws, that's something entirely different. That's what it is. Because all companies want to monopolize. It is the best way that you can improve your profit margin. If you understand that companies are profit driven, then you also understand that, of course, they want to fucking become a monopoly. That's why the most successful companies in America are near monopolies, or at least functioning in an oligopolistic structure where they engage in price leadership, not price fixing, but price leadership instead, which is legal and totally cool and very different than price fixing, which is not legal and not cool. So libertarians live in this delusional world where all of the many benefits of collectivism and socialization do not exist for some fucking weird reason. They refuse to look at examples where even inside of capitalist organizations of the economy, socialistic constructs have been greatly beneficial to improving the material conditions of the working poor. Okay? And then they say, no, you don't understand. It's just true capitalism hasn't been fucking tried. Consumers give the company money for the product. Consumers give the company money for the product. Company becomes successful. Company becomes successful. Someone else has a better idea, creates a better product. The company uses his wealth to manipulate the government into giving it more power through tax rates, regulations, etc. Again, like, why would... First of all, you have to have regulatory control. Even minarchists understand that you have to have a court system, okay? And you have to have some form of governance, okay? Libertarians, like libertarian minarchists, still believe that there is a minimal amount of government that's a necessity in order for you to have contracts that you can declare legitimate, okay? Because without that, someone can just storm in with a fucking bigger gun than you and take everything else, okay? That's why Sam Cedar can just fucking dunk on libertarians by being like, okay, you own something, I have more guns than you, I'm going to come in and kill you and take your shit. You have to have a system designed, a system set in place where there is a court system, right? So as soon as you have that, rent-seeking behavior is going to exist. Why is it going to exist? Because companies under capitalism or under any organization of the economy, corporations in the way that we understand it, want to fucking grow. They want to increase their profit margins. And the best way to do that is, of course, by fucking playing the refs, especially when you have a certain amount of power. If there isn't rent-seeking behavior in every single deregulated industry, you still see companies turning into monopolies or oligopolies, either by vertical or horizontal integration. Okay, you either buy out every part of the process in the fucking in your logistics, in your supply chain, or you buy out competitors and downsize and maximize your efficiency by destroying the competition. Every company will do this. It doesn't matter. There is no way to compete, especially when there are industries with natural barriers of entry. Public utilities are a perfect example of this. So libertarians have no fucking answer to this, okay? What do you do? How do you exist when so many industries rely on public research, publicly funded research like the internet, okay? That doesn't rely on short-term profit motives and requires a tremendous amount of spending and failure until you arrive at a life-changing, game-changing technological achievement like the internet, okay? That rely on roads and infrastructure and power and utilities, things that are a product of, again, collectivism and a product of socialization. And then beyond that, how the fuck do you just start your own small business airline, for example? You can't. Even if, let's say, in this magical universe, we somehow built roads, somehow corporations built their own roads, okay? How the fuck do you, I don't know, how do you operate? Like, how do you fucking, how do you do airlines and shit? How do you create public utilities? Or not even public utilities, but like utilities in general. You can't. Industries with natural barriers of entry are always going, and that's a real thing that exists. Natural barriers of entry exist. Industries with natural barriers of entry are always going to be monopolistic without government regulation. You understand? So this notion that, like, you know, you can just build your own competing airline lol is fucking idiotic. Yes, it's called a natural monopoly. Hassan's argument applies to libertarian socialism because everything is done by the public, just without a state. So public research does not become impossible because it's always the public doing the research. Yes, libertarian socialism does not mean that there is no fucking governing body. That's the biggest difference between anarcho-capitalism is that, or libertarianism, like right libertarianism, and libertarian socialism, is that there's still some form of democratically elected governing body that is deciding on a lot of these in a democratic process. Whereas in an anarcho-capitalist utopia, you have corporations. Corporations are inherently authoritarian. If you don't believe me, tell your boss that you're not coming to work today, or if you go to work today, tell your boss that you're going to work on something else. I've decided tomorrow that I'm no longer going to be doing accounting. I've decided that I am going to be focusing on marketing tomorrow. See how well that works out for you. You can't fucking do that in a corporation. You can't decide what to do with the profits because you are engaging in what is known as wage labor. Okay? Your corporation tells you what to fucking do because it is an inherently authoritarian construct. That's how corporations exist under democracies, as basically a small fascist ecosystem, or a small, not fascist, but small authoritarian ecosystem. Libertarian socialism, on the other hand, has democracy baked into the corporations at the smallest units. Lib right and lib left are both made up internet bullshit? No, no, dude, what? Anyway. I don't know how you can live through 4 years of Trump and then argue that the solution, we would elect the guy who runs the power grid. Wait, what? I hate this notion that, like, democracy within smaller fucking forms that have a direct impact on your life are going to be subject to the same kind of idiotic no choice two parties problems that you engage in when it comes to electing the president. And also, on top of that, like, what's your argument then? Doing fucking fascism or something? Like, what is your take? Just, yeah, let's just, you know, dumb people elected Donald Trump, so let's just have fucking monarchies instead going forward. Good take. And again, if we even had direct democracy or a popular vote, Donald Trump wouldn't be fucking president anyway. There's no electoral college within like local positions like that. And there shouldn't be. Pointing to inefficiencies that are anti-democratic to say that democracy fails is really an idiotic take. How do you perfectly understand economic principles but then still believe in democratic socialism? You're like the biologist that believes in God? Because I think that democratic socialism is a more humane and more advanced and evolved way of actually engaging in democracy. Okay? Because it's actually democratic. I just described to you how capitalist companies operate. Also, plenty of fucking biologists believe in God. I don't understand what you're talking about. Like, believing in fucking God does not mean that you also think that, like, it's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve, dog. I'm pretty sure. Not that I personally do, but... No choice, two-party system. My take is that they expect people to make an informed decision for their 5 utility providers and not get influenced by bullshit populist arguments is utopic. Oh, you're one of those dumbass fucking neoliberals. Oh, yeah, no. You're right. Sorry, brother. You're right. You should have the current system, which is unelected representatives that have absolutely no interest in helping out the people that they are supposed to. The way that we currently have it is absolutely not mismanaged. You're right. Thank you for your take. Never mind. You're absolutely correct. Yeah, what if socialists decide to democratically do racism, therefore owned?
You know, everybody in the U.S. does actually have insurance. It's called GoFundMe. It's used more than any other insurance. It's like a popularity contest. You lose, you die. I like it. Anyway, let's get back to the igloo. Shit. Give me that thing.
He's right.